Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, March 14th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. A lot to get to. A couple of things to talk about that's going to be very important. I'm rolling over on Monday, right, to the M contract. We're trading at about a 50-point premium. You notice I wrote rollover gap here for ES and NQ, because it's going to be a rollover gap. I do not back adjust. That's why it's going to be critically important, and this is why I look at, when we break down the charts, why I look at SPY, triple Qs, and IWM. Because we went out with a price probe today. We don't know, because of the premium built into the next contract, you're going to have to look at SPY. Because say we open down $2 from settlement on Monday. Well, then this price probe is firmly rejected, right? We close right at it and SPY will be below it. But in an ES, that wouldn't be the case. You'd still have a rollover gap. Now, I would still keep that price probe, because until we get down and fill the rollover gap and fill it, it's going to be on my chart. However, it's all context. So it's still something that SPY is going to be telling me is much more important than these destinations in ES. Also, Monday's high is very important because that's your weekly high. Well, we're going to be opening above that. So that's why SPY's Monday high is going to be critically important to me. Why? Because the weekly is down right now. They took a baby steps today, the bulls, coming back into balance on the daily. But the weekly is down. Okay, the new contract doesn't change that. So that's why we have to see if SPY and triple Qs take out Monday's high. Then the weekly's back to balance. Even if ES, if they don't take out Monday's high in, say, SPY and triple Qs, then the weekly's still down for me, even though the new contract will be trading above the old contract weekly high. I hope that makes sense. So I always roll over on the Monday, and I've never back adjusted. So that's how I look at things. Now, righty, same thing with righty and IWM. Righty goes out with a trend day up, a 10 wide POC, and a price probe. And Q goes out with just an afternoon pullback low in G, which I didn't mark, by the way. I'll have to mark that. A 10 wide POC. They never held trend, and a price probe. ES goes out with a double distribution day. They held trend like righty. I'm not going to use F slow because it's basically the same where the single prints start. So they go out with a trend day, a 10 wide POC, and a price probe. Okay? Volume, lightest of the week, and that's on the best move of the week. This market today provided something we haven't seen in a while. It was a textbook MGI day that held, right? We've seen a lot of the market opens, goes down, fails trend, then goes up and comes back in. Today was not that at all. We went up, and it was strictly short covering all day. Okay? We went and probed late in the day, and then M came in. Again, you take M with a grain of salt, right? So, but for once, it was very textbook. Now, I didn't do anything after G period. Market got tired. It didn't do much. The couple of trades I could have taken, I was looking to see if we would take out G's low and buy it half back. Now, half back was lower than that at that point. Remember, we made a new high in M. But it didn't get down there. I also could have faded a new high in L period. I didn't do that. It pulled back nicely. So, again, it was a good day. We'll go over the trades. And then I want to go over the charts and break them down. So, I missed a couple of my staple plays early today in A period. I missed getting the overnight high. The overnight, by the way, was long. Never had an inventory correction at all because most of the overnight long inventory was short covering. That continued the entire day. Most traders don't understand that. If you're a day trader, I mean, we break that down to you and break it down for you so clearly. But I did miss getting the long, just wasn't quick enough. However, I did get the long in A to get yesterday's high. Now remember, NQ was in balance. I said they only stretched it yesterday. ES came back to balance today. Then in B period, again, I missed the day's low. I've been not as quick on the draw the last 2 days on some of these staple plays. I missed it. Okay? But as soon as it took out the day's low and came back above the opening, I got a long. So I missed the short, but I got the long. And then there was a lot of ebb and flow longs. The bulls really controlled the day. Indices, they were up huge. IB high, overnight high, value, being above the opening, raising POC, trend A and ES. You want to go on and on? And they controlled the day the whole day. Okay? So the afternoon pullback was a nice long. So in C period, I took a long in above the 144 when it came back down in the opening. That was nice. D period, I did get the IB high. Got that one very nicely. So I got one of my staple plays. And then a lot of ebb and flow longs. Okay. I took a long in F period versus the single print fill from D, which I got paid on. You got a responsive bounce off it. And then in G period for my afternoon pullback low. Now, people were saying, well, we're one-time framing down. They don't have a trend day anymore. And that was all true. But I said the MGI was so powerful in favor of the bulls, right? That afternoon pullback was still a good trade. And it was. And so I did well on that. And then again, that was my last trade. I am not going to go over the reference points because they're going to be all different on Monday with the rollover, right? The most important one, though, will be these. Today's high of 48.75 will be the rollover gap fill. And in ES, that was ES. In NQ, 7, again, I'm in 4s, so I'm not sure if they're 100% right, 743. So if we open up above, right, on the new contract, this high will be gone. I'm not sure if they're above, the new contract's above 905. But even if it isn't, the odds of getting Monday's weekly high is going to be good because of the premium that's going to be built in. But that is not taking out a weekly high. Please remember that. Okay? I know, wait, let me rephrase that. Technically it will be, because if we open below it with the new contract and then we get it, yes. But it's not really going to be that important to me until SPY and triple Qs take it out. Okay? So let's go to the charts. So here's IWM. Their monthly is down. Okay? We're halfway through the month. It's been a poor month for them. Poor month for all of us. Sorry about that. I got a helicopter. There we go. Got an Army helicopter flying over the house. We're not far from Charleston Airport, so they have a lot of Navy and Air Force planes there. Okay, sorry about that. So the monthly is down in NQ. We'll see at the end of the month how they close it. Do they leave excess at the bottom or not? Again, it all remains to be seen. We got 2 weeks to go. But the monthly is down. The weekly is also firmly down. It's not a bad weekly candle with the little hammer there. Is that a ray of hope for the bulls? Possibly. Remains to be seen. If we come and take a lot of that away on Monday, no, or next week. Now again, in the futures, it's going to hold because it's going to be above that. But in the ETFs, it won't be. So the monthly, weekly are down firmly. Although that's a daily hammer, and I think we're going to have it on all of them. The daily is balance. That's a 5-day balance. Monday through today. Monday's high is the high of the balance. Thursday's low is the bottom of the balance. So if they plan on making any headway towards the 200-day moving average, which they haven't seen in many days now, right? It's what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. 15 days. It's 3 trading weeks. They haven't seen it. If they plan on making any headway towards it in righty, you're going to have to come out of the balance to the upside. So down monthly, down weekly, balance daily. NQ. Monthly is down, firmly down. Again, they're trying to come off the lows, but it's a monthly. We don't know if they are going to come off the lows or not by the end of the month. We'll have to see, right? The weekly, nice little hammer. Again, ray of hope. I'm sure there's people all over Twitter screaming the lows are in. Don't forget, NQ's yearly low is in the overnight. And now, because of the rollover, will be even much more difficult to get. Believe me, I carry that forward. So you're down on the weekly, but it's a nice little finish there. And the daily is a 5-day balance. The 200-day moving average is at 5, we'll round it out to 493. So we're about a little over $13 below it. So 5-day balance. Now let's go to the S&P. And this is why I look at these charts. They're much cleaner than the futures. We're down on the monthly, right? All 3 of our indices are very similar. Down on the monthly, down on the weekly with a nice finish with that little hammer. And the daily has a bad low in it. I tried to change it. Today's low is 555.50 in SPY, not 551.49. There was a spit out, so that's $4 lower they have it. It's not that important to me because it's not the balance. It's not the balance low. Thursday is. I'll try to fix it, but if I don't, it's not that big a deal because Thursday's low is the balance low. 555.50 is the correct low in SPY today. Okay? And again, a 5-day balance. We were discussing this in the room before I say a 5-day balance. Monday's high is critically important because that is the weekly high. But we didn't really get into Monday's range as much as the other 2 did. So if you want to call it a 4-day balance, I don't have a problem with that. I'm going to probably just call a 5-day balance. I was telling the room I might go with 4. I'll probably call it 5 because Monday's high is the weekly high. So I think that's really important. But again, you can one-time frame up the next 2 days and not get Monday's high. At that point, you'd be one-time framing up 3 days. Do we still call it balance? So it remains to be seen. So for now, I'm going to call it balance and see how we start playing out next week. Hope you had a good day and a good week trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Rest up. Enjoy your weekend. Today we did over $8 in ES and we did $8 in NQ. Didn't even feel it. So enjoy these ranges while they last because at some point they will certainly contract. Have a great weekend and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.